So thinking today, I don't really have a plan, but I think we can just go ahead and just start anyway, and we'll just roll with the punches and see how it goes.
Start with what? What are we doing?
I don't know. I told you we'll figure it out on the day. That's the best way to make a movie, right? You just make it up as you go along.
Is that what happened?
Yes.
Oh my god, really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
This is Jurassic Park 3.
Welcome back to another Out of Touch podcast. I'm Chris, that's Bill, and today we are talking about Jurassic Park 3, a movie that I literally just watched and I think I remember. So, Bill, I'm going to hand it off to you because you said you have a lot to say about this movie, and I'm kind of just like, oh yeah, Jurassic Park 3.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely have a lot to say about this movie. I mean, being someone who loved Jurassic Park growing up, going into this movie and leaving it as a kid, it is literally the first time in my life I left the movie theater and was just like, that fucking sucked.
Yeah, you know, it's hard to talk about this because compared to Jurassic Park 1 and 2, and when we watched them for this podcast, we have 2 other episodes, maybe watch them if you want. But
link in the description.
But those 2 movies, I found myself feeling like, oh, I don't know, like if I really want to watch Jurassic Park 2. But Jurassic Park 2 I got sucked into just as much as Jurassic Park 1. This movie is shorter, and I felt way more bored watching it.
Yeah, this movie is like 90 minutes, 98 minutes, something like that. It's thankfully short, but yeah, it's the story's not engaging, and there's some reasons for that.
There is no suspense in this movie whatsoever. It just happens.
Can you tell this wasn't directed by Spielberg?
Yeah, and it shows.
Can you tell that they didn't have a finished script and were kind of just making it up as they went along?
That's so weird for such a big franchise. How does that even happen?
Well, Universal was probably dead set on a release date. And darn it, Joe Johnston, you're making that release date.
I'm sure I've seen other movies Joe Johnston's
Captain
done.
America, the First Avenger.
Right, so he has done good movies.
Yeah, and people say The Rocketeer is solid. I haven't seen it since I was a kid, so I don't really remember it, but...
Yeah.
And he was brought on board by Universal to finish the Wolfman remake. I think somebody else started that, and he finished it.
Okay.
But...
Well, interesting. So how do we go about talking about Jurassic Park 3? Because, honestly, it's very hard to remember what happened in this movie. I'm like, hey, Alan Grant is in it. He's not with Ellie, which is kind of weird. But then you told me there's a 20-year age difference between them. And I'm like, oh, maybe that's not as weird as I thought then.
It's weird from a character standpoint.
Yeah.
And unsatisfying from a watching these movies in sequential order standpoint. You're like, yeah, these 2 are together. Whoa, what happened?
Yeah. He's doing paleontology thing. He is kind of, I guess, more famous because of Jurassic Park.
And he wrote another book, it seems.
Yeah.
There's stuff in this movie I like. There's ideas sprinkled throughout this movie, but none of the ideas come to anything.
Yeah.
There's this notion early on that Grant is dismissive of the dinosaurs on Isla Sorna. It's just like, John Hammond and Ingen just created theme park monsters. That shit's fucked up. And he's just disgruntled about that. There's something that you could explore with that, but they really don't.
Yeah, like, I guess, like, there's an underlying theme of, like, those are not real dinosaurs. They're, like, genetic abominations that shouldn't exist.
I guess that kind of carries over into the Jurassic World movies, but in this movie, it's just like, it's something that's suggested, but they don't do anything about it. It was just like a cheap way to reference John Hammond, I guess.
Yeah.
Who I guess is dead?
Yeah. The setup of this movie is...
bullshit?
Yeah, it's like awkward and weird. Some guy claiming to be a rich guy is like, we want a tour of the island and we want you, Alan Grant, to give us a tour because we think you're great. And then it turns out, I'm actually not rich and my son is lost on the island because vacation has gone awry.
Basically. That's exactly what happens. And then there's the other little moment that I kind of like, but also doesn't really amount to anything when it's like, I told you to get somebody that was on this island. I've never been on this island. It's like, but you wrote that book. That was a different island. Wait, there's 2 islands?
Yeah.
But it's like, can we talk about this? Is the other island still around? Is there dinosaurs there? Something, anything.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Yeah, and the other movies, like, you remember some of the dinosaur attacks so vividly. Like, they're so well done. They're so iconic. They're so, like, stick with you. With this movie, dinosaur attacks just happen.
Sometimes, like, out of, like, oh, okay, we're doing this now.
And I literally cannot, like, tell you, like, a crazy moment in this movie, except for, like, I think a T-Rex fights a Spinosaurus at one point for, like, a split second. Okay. I hit a nerve, didn't I?
This is the nerve that's been there since the end of my childhood, which I guess this movie kind of coincided with, which I guess is really more of a coincidence. But T-Rex is my favorite dinosaur growing up, and I love the Jurassic Park movies. They showcased the T-Rex amazingly in those first 2 movies. The T-Rex is in this movie for a minute, Chris!
I know.
A minute!
And then it dies.
It's like, I can't imagine what my face must have looked like in the theater seeing that. Seeing the commercials where the T-Rex and the Spinosaurus are fighting, I'm just like thinking to myself, oh, they're going to build up to that fight. And then it just happens in like the first 5 minutes of them being on the island.
You sitting in the movie theater with your little boy propeller hat and your tiny flag that says T-Rex was crushed that day.
Oh, it broke my heart.
I will say too, I guess the big dinosaur in this movie is Spinosaurus.
So much so that he literally took over the logo.
Yeah.
It's funny because he's all over the original DVDs and stuff. His DVD's so old it's in fucking full screen.
Yeah.
But as you can see on my Blu-ray, he's been completely erased from this movie, at least on the box. Because all modern boxes and stuff, they just don't have it on there. It's just the original logo again.
Yeah, it's weird too because this movie is just Jurassic Park 3. It doesn't even have like a subtitle.
It's a very lazy title. The whole thing with the Spinosaurus, it's just like we want to forcibly insert a new antagonistic dinosaur. So to do that, we're going to job out the T-Rex, who's probably our biggest merch seller. That's a great way to do a franchise. Shit.
Wow, holy shit, dude. You threw that far.
Oh, shit.
God damn it, Bill.
This movie brings it out of me.
Wow. So tell us more about how Jurassic Park 3 hurt you.
It hurt me in my heart and soul.
Tell me where the movie hurt you. It hurt me right here.
Right here in the heart. Right here. I remember, because I was in middle school when this movie came out. I was part of the school newspaper during this time. And to tell you how long ago this was, we downloaded the trailer to watch it. It took an hour.
Wow.
Yeah.
Dial-up internet.
I guess so.
Word.
And that we're talking like a 2-minute trailer. It took an hour
Wow.
to fully buffer.
In 260p or whatever.
You know what's crazy is from what I understand, the T-Rex Spinosaurus fight scene, it was supposed to be a bit more elaborate and longer and incorporate the animatronics a little more. You can even see that in one of the trailers where like the Spino robot swipes at the T-Rex robot and the behind the scenes stuff show the robots roaring at each other, but the fight is all just CGI. Apparently, when they were like shooting the fight, the Spinosaurus robot destroyed the T-Rex robot.
Oh, wow.
By accident.
Oh, jeez.
What the hell?
You know what's another weird thing about this movie, too, compared to the other two? So, like, in Jurassic Park, and then especially Jurassic Park 2, there was all, like, the weird, crazy, like, military vehicles or, like, just weird Jurassic Park vehicles in general. This movie has, like, none of that.
I guess it's got a parachute.
Yeah.
And a boat.
Because, the people that set up this expedition to go rescue their son, they're frauds. They don't have any money.
Nope.
Somehow they're able to charter a flight to this island somehow. I guess, like, the guy's, like, he's not, like, poor or anything, but he's just like, I own a tile store.
He spent everything he had
to
try to rescue his son. They hire some mercenaries. We see them test out their gun. They never fucking use it. That's another thing that pissed me off. I was like, oh shit, some shit's gonna go down in this movie. That's gonna be so cool. They're gonna use that on a dinosaur. Oh no, never mind. Those guys are dead.
Yeah.
They last 2 seconds on the island.
They really do. There's 3 mercenaries, and I think 2 of them immediately die.
2 of them immediately die.
Like, one walks into the jungle and gets injured, and then I think they hit him with a plane when they're trying to escape.
The Spinosaurus eats him, and then they hit the Spinosaurus with the plane. And then the other guy gets eaten by the Spinosaurus like 2 minutes later.
That's right.
Jeez.
Yeah, it's so weird.
The Spinosaurus is hilariously inaccurate by current standards, because now we know, well, sort of know, apparently scientists believe it was now more semi-quadrupedal, probably spent more time in the water. Its bones were a lot lighter, so that T-Rex fight would have really gone a different way in real life.
Yeah, that T-Rex would have just like chomped down on that thing.
The second, even if it was as big as it was, that T-Rex bit its fucking neck.
Yeah.
The T-Rex had one of the strongest, if not the strongest bites ever measured.
Yeah.
And I knew that as a child, and I'm like, this movie is built on lies.
This movie's bullshit.
Shenanigans! How dare you take away my toy and try to make me like your new toy better? It's like a foreshadowing of Disney Star Wars.
Oh, man.
Shots fired.
Yeah. It's weird, because Jurassic Park 3 was one of those movies when it came out as a kid, I didn't see this one in theaters. It was kind of, they're making Jurassic Park 3, and I remember some of my friends saw it, and I was like, how was it? And they're like, it was okay. Like,
oh, if you knew me at the time, you would have just heard how much I hated it.
Yeah.
Just would have been a very angry child.
And just going from there, I always like, Jurassic Park 3 was like, oh, Jurassic Park 3, the movie that killed that franchise, or...
Did for a minute.
Yeah. The bad one.
It still kind of is.
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't rewatched Fallen Kingdom, but this movie, it suggests more than it presents. There's this interesting exchange that Grant and his
grad student.
Sure. Played by a 30-year-old man.
Intern.
30-something intern, yeah.
Lab assistant. Lab assistant, probably.
Either way, he mentions the word major, so he's a student.
Takes a long time to get a PhD.
Sure. But when they were like, it's a Spinosaurus, it's just like, that wasn't on Ingen's list. It's like, what else were they fucking up to? I'm like, yeah, what does that mean? I think maybe it was just lazy foreshadowing with the pteranodons. But man, you know what would have been kind of cool? And it was just, this is a thought I only had recently. When they go to that genetics lab, before they get attacked by the raptors, what if hypothetically some of the computer equipment still works? Or maybe they find something a bit more recent. And you could have like an apocalyptic log with the creation of the Spinosaurus. It's like, this thing can't be controlled. What have we done? That would have at least been something.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, that's years of playing video games where you like just keep finding apocalyptic logs, but that would have been, at least it would have been something for this movie that has nothing but, all right, let's take a breath. Now we got to run from the raptors. They're back. They're in the movie again. They're in a lot of this movie.
They also talk to each other now.
Yeah, they re-emphasize their intelligence in this one. Does it go anywhere? No.
Yeah. It's just like, they're smart. They're possibly even smarter than dolphins.
I remember that those lines were all over the trailers, really emphasizing the threat of the raptors, but really they're just, yeah, they're smart, I guess, but they're no more of a threat than they were usually.
You know, it's the only thing I remember about the raptors in this movie.
What's that?
And it's the main thing everybody always makes fun of this movie for. The dream sequence with the raptor. Yeah. And you know what's weird? I know that scene, like, because I've seen it memed 100 times, and even when watching this movie, that was like, just when that scene happens, it's abruptly Alan, and I'm just like, whoa, what the fuck? Like,
it's such a weird thing to include.
Yeah.
I guess the idea is supposed to be he's afraid. I don't know why they chose the male raptor with the feathers, because he never saw those before.
Yeah.
So that was a weird choice.
So weird. Just raptor just turns around and it's just like, Alan. It's like, whoa.
Look, I'll say this. I do like some of the stuff with the raptors, like effect-wise, they're as good as ever.
Yeah, they look good.
Like, I mean, we still got, this is the last one Stan Winston worked on, so we still got all these great animatronics. I do like how the male ones have feathers and the females don't, so we can tell them apart.
Yeah.
It was kind of a clever way to like incorporate feathers into the raptors without kind of contradicting the previous movie. Hell, you could even suggest it as like, oh wait, as they progress, they're getting more and more like how they are supposed to be.
Yeah, like through the generations.
Yeah.
Like the frog DNA is going away and the dino DNA is taking over.
Like, that'd been kind of cool. That would have been an interesting thing to explore, but this movie doesn't explore anything other than, run, a dinosaur!
Yeah, and that's the worst part because none of the dinosaur like attacks have any stakes to them.
Not really.
They just happen and you just watch it. It's kind of what I guess a lot of people fear about, like, you know, when they say like some movies just have action but like it has no substance. It's just like that's what this is. It's just.
I mean, let's face it. The only character I care about in this movie is Alan Grant. That's just because of the first movie.
Yeah.
It's like, oh no, I like him in the other movie. I don't want him to die.
Yeah, it's weird that one of the main characters in this movie is like a little boy that somehow managed to survive on this island for, what is it, 8 weeks?
8 weeks. And the crazy thing is, the guy that crashed on the island with him must have died after like 30 seconds.
Yeah.
I'm still like, what the hell happened to that guy? Because they had their little like parachute hang glider thing. They got stuck in the tree. We know he was alive when they landed. And like, let's turn the camera off. And then, without even getting out of the harness, something killed him.
Yeah.
And we don't know what. What happened there?
That was ghosts.
I don't even know.
You know what's another thing too about this movie that kind of annoyed me? And this is really nitpicky, but they're like eating candy out of like vending machines in this movie, and the little kids eating candy, and I'm like, dude, it's been like 5 years since this shit happened. All this crap
Dude, longer than that.
Yeah, all this stuff is expired. This stuff would make you sick.
I mean, I guess
if in a world where you're running away from dinosaurs and you have the runs, I guess you're gonna be running really fast.
Yes. And also, you can't really be picky about what you eat in that situation, I guess.
Yeah, but I just thought it was weird. It's just like, this kid survived 8 weeks on Crunch bars.
He must have found some other stuff.
Well, I mean, Alan was eating that big can of whatever it was.
He must have forged some beans and shit.
Yeah.
Maybe he found some canned food in one of those buildings.
Yeah.
But yeah, we see him eating a Crunch bar. I mean, look, got to work in that product placement somehow, right?
Yeah, seriously.
So stupid. I'll say this. I've grown softer on the movie, maybe because we've gotten more movies since. And the last time I watched it, I also watched all the making of, and finding out like, wow, they really went through so much bullshit to try to make this movie. Like they're constantly having to rewrite the script. Apparently, I once read that Jeff Goldblum was supposed to be in this, but he got hurt during like rehearsals, and they were like, oh, we got to write him out.
Oh, jeez.
Our elaborate T-Rex Spinosaurus fight fell apart because the T-Rex head came off. Gotta scrap that. As lackluster as it is, it's still competent.
Yeah.
It's well put together. It doesn't feel like a Frankenstein. Compared to other movies that we've seen in recent years that are shitstorms behind the scenes, like Fant Four Stick, the first version of Justice League.
Yeah.
And that 2019 Hellboy or whatever year that fucking came out with, that are just this sloppy, poor, awful effects. Just utter shit. Compared to them, Jurassic Park 3 is a fucking masterpiece.
Yeah, and the effects look good. It's
for the most part,
It's just the substance of them. That's sudden like dinosaur attack, run.
For
build up.
For what it's worth, it is just a schlocky movie where they run from dinosaurs, and it works on that level.
Yeah.
But it has no substance at all, and I would like just some substance, a character thing, anything to grab, something. But it doesn't really have that.
It's weird too because they made it seem like the Spinosaurus was like the big bad dinosaur in this movie. And I'd argue probably like the pterodactyls were more terrifying in this movie than the Spinosaurus just because they pick people up and shit. Like they pick up the little kid at one point.
It was also something different.
Yeah.
Spinosaurus was just it was just a different looking T-Rex in terms of what it was how it was presented. Oh, it went underwater for a second once. That's all it did.
Yeah.
At least the pteranodons, that scene I always thought was cool because we never had that in any of the other movies. It was something completely different.
Yeah.
So that's kind of cool. They're creepy looking. They don't kill anybody though.
No.
They fake out kill that one character who I think might have been brought back to life via reshoots. I don't know.
Billy, the assistant
yes.
that Alan Grant's like the last thing I said to Billy was, "You're worse than the people that made this place." Because of course we had somebody else pick up a baby dinosaur, in this case raptor eggs, to attract the raptors to them.
And that's why they get chased by raptors for half the movie.
Also, I don't remember exactly how this happens, but they give the eggs back to the raptors,
Yes.
and then the raptors are like, okay, we're good, and then they just run away.
Well, no. First, Grant tries to like fuck with them with that 3D printed raptor flute.
Oh, yeah, right.
But I think that kind of confuses them for a second. But then they hear a helicopter and then they're like, oh, fuck this, we're out of here. And then they leave. And then the Marines and Army show up and I was just like, oh, are they going to fight a dinosaur? Oh, no, we're done. The movie's over.
Yeah.
You know, you could have had one more Spinosaurus attack. I would have forgiven so much of this movie as a kid if the Spinosaurus showed up one more time and then just got obliterated by the military. just show me that damn thing riddled with bullets.
Oh, man. Just like, open fire.
Kill it! Kill it! Damn it!
Oh, man.
I just want to see the Spinosaurus die, Chris.
Yeah. It's a weird looking dinosaur. I'm trying to...
The real one looked a lot weirder, apparently.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember some stuff in this movie. There's a scene where they're running, I think you mentioned with the pteranodons, right? With like the stampede. Are those the pteranodons? You know what I'm talking about? They're like running with like a stampede of dinosaurs in one scene.
That's when they're getting chased by raptors.
Yeah, yeah. But there's like a bunch of other shit around too.
It's like hadrosaurs and shit.
Yeah, okay. I don't know these dinosaur names that well. I thought that scene was pretty cool. It kind of reminded me of something from like the newer Jurassic Park movies.
This movie does have a lot in common with the newer ones.
Yeah.
Especially in terms of like the pacing and some of the action. And like the way the Spinosaurus is not too dissimilar from the way like the Indominus behaves. It's just like a marauding psycho.
Yeah, I mean, at least with the Indominus, they're like, no, this is a made-up Asaurus Rex, so we're good.
I know like recent supplemental material have kind of indicated that maybe this Spinosaurus was like some kind of weird experiment too.
Okay.
I'm like, yeah, at least that adds something to the movie, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, it also justifies why it doesn't look anything like how we now know Spinosaurus would have probably looked like.
Yeah, you know what else is weird in this movie? And something from my childhood that I was just like, oh yeah, there's a Barney cameo in this movie.
Yeah, that's weird.
Remember Barney?
I try not to.
Yeah. Yeah, I just was like, wow, I haven't seen that guy in like decades.
Is that still a thing?
I don't think it is.
Good.
I mean, I know there's that like movie like with Robin Williams, Death to Smoochie, that's sort of like a Barney character
it's
thing.
not Barney though.
I know, but I was like, was there some weird shit behind the scenes? Like Barney was addicted to drugs, like Blue's Clues or something.
What?
Yeah, wasn't Blue's Clues guy addicted to drugs or something? And that's why he had to quit?
No.
I could have swore one of them was.
He was losing his hair and didn't want to lose it on television in front of children, so he left the show.
Oh, that's not as fun then. I thought he was like addicted to drugs. Oh, you know what? I'm thinking of the Dell guy.
The who? Oh, the Dell guy.
Yeah.
How do you get the...
I don't know, man. Whatever.
Oh my God.
I'm just trying to make this more interesting.
Me going on a tirade about how much I hate a fictional dinosaur isn't interesting enough?
I don't know what else to say about Jurassic Park 3. I don't have as much hate for this movie.
For me, it's residual hate, because I really don't hate it anymore.
Yeah.
It's whatever. It exists.
It's like the most boring Jurassic Park movie.
I guess.
Like, I was just kind of like, something feels off about this. And you're like, Steven Spielberg didn't direct it. And I'm like, that's kind of it.
It's more than just that.
Yeah.
They should have finished the script before they started filming.
Yeah. I mean,
I don't know why.
The stakes seem kind of low.
Okay, because the entire movie builds upon, let's save a kid. We got to save this kid. And, you know, that's not much to the story. The last movie was freaking InGen kind of take all the dinosaurs off the island. There's a threat.
Yeah.
This is just like, oh, we're here now. Now we got to run from dinosaurs, I guess.
We have to save our son. Also, we're divorced because that's a thing in the 90s.
This movie came out in 2001, damn it.
Oh, did it really?
Pretty sure.
Holy shit.
Yeah, this was not the 90s.
Well, never mind then. Wow. Later than I thought for some reason. I thought this was like a 1999 movie for some reason.
Nope. I imagine maybe at one point in time they probably shot for that date, but didn't make that date. I don't know why they went with this kind of lackluster plot. I can't remember if I think even around this time, I was like, they should just make a movie where there's just dinosaurs on the mainland. When are we going to do that?
Yeah.
Took like 20 years, but we're getting that finally.
Yeah. I mean, this movie ends with the pterodactyls escaping the habitat and flying somewhere, and nobody seems to care.
It's a whimsical happy ending.
I know.
These terrifying monsters in the sky.
Like, Alan Grant is just like they're going to find more nesting grounds, and
If anything, Alan Grant would be like, shoot him!
Yeah.
Shoot him!
military guy. Let me borrow that rocket launcher.
We'd have to wait one more movie to see a dinosaur get blown up by a damn rocket launcher.
Yeah, I guess so.
I just want to see a dinosaur get shot. Damn it.
You're like, I've seen how nature is cool and the majesty of dinosaurs. Now I just want to see them annihilated with modern weapons.
Except the T-Rex. Leave the damn T-Rex alone.
That T-Rex is a hero.
Yes. Always. Frequently. Especially that specific T-Rex especially. I don't care if she ate a lawyer that one time. He abandoned children. He may have deserved it, but probably not.
It was the best scene. He's sitting on the toilet. Just so great. Nothing lives up to that scene, and this movie is very boring.
Well, you expect all the deaths happen in like the first 5 minutes on the island, so there's nothing exciting later.
Yeah.
There's nothing is spaced out evenly.
There's like some
T-Rex is in the movie for a minute.
I know. I was just gonna mention. There's a lot of like dinosaur cameos, like T-Rex. They show poppies for like a second.
Compies.
Compies, right? I said poppies. Whatever, compies. They show them for a second.
Yeah, yeah, pretty much.
The little kid's just like, oh, compies, and closes the door in his like weird water truck hideout.
Outside of the Spinosaurus, the raptors, and the pteranodons, all the other dinosaurs are like, look at that dinosaur. All right, moving on.
Yeah.
Look, Brachiosaurus, moving on. Cut away, fade away. We're done. We're done here.
Yeah. I mean, I guess if you were the person in this movie, you're just like, so majestic. Kill it.
I'm just saying, if some of these dinosaurs don't get mowed down in Jurassic World Dominion, what the fuck are we even doing?
Yeah.
Just saying. It's okay. You can shoot a few dinosaurs. It's fine. They're not real.
Yeah. Well, I guess any other words on Jurassic Park 3? Because I don't have that much to say about this one.
I think I've said all I could say. What they did to the T-Rex upset me as a child. Mildly annoys me as an adult, but I'm fine. I'm over it.
The T-Rex
I grew up.
It gets its redemption.
It got redemption. There was a Take That, where she burst through the Spinosaurus skeleton and everything in Jurassic World.
Yeah.
But man, I found this out. I don't know if this is true, but I'm kind of annoyed by it. Supposedly, in Fallen Kingdom, T-Rex would have killed the Spinosaurus in that movie at one point.
Oh, okay.
I'm like, no, why did you cut that? Damn it.
This is what we needed.
I just want to see the Spinosaurus die.
Yeah.
Instead, it's running around Camp Cretaceous.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah, they're on like a different island now with dinosaurs somehow.
How many freaking islands did they make?
This one's got nothing to do with InGen.
Okay.
Though I think some of the dinosaurs might have been stolen from Site B.
There was another company that made dinosaurs. They were called Pfizer. Hey, wait a minute.
Oh, jeez. Oh, no. I mean, maybe Dotson made them. I don't know.
Yeah.
Actually, I think Dotson's going to be in Jurassic World Dominion. Played by somebody else because the original actor is a monster.
No. No.
Yeah, we'll just leave it at that.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah, Jurassic Park 3. Well, at least it's short.
Yeah, 90 minutes.
98, something like that. I checked the runtime on my DVD, but I threw it somewhere.
Yeah.
It's gone.
My door better. God damn it, Bill.
What door? What are you talking about? We're in the jungle. What?
Right. What? That.
Just end the podcast.
Yep. That's Out of Touch Podcast. Thanks for watching.